The earth beneath our feet is alive, slowly breathing, shifting, and sometimes, erupting in fury. Volcanoes are among nature's most powerful creations, both destructive and creative at the same time. But what if, instead of watching from a safe distance, you were to step inside this living furnace? What if you had to survive 24 hours inside an active volcano zone? This is not just a test of human endurance, it's a window into one of Earth's most unforgiving yet fascinating landscapes. Welcome to the heart of fire. The journey begins at dawn. The air is cool, but the ground tells another story. Beneath the surface, molten rock moves silently through the veins of the earth. Steam escapes through cracks, whispering warnings that few choose to hear. As you take your first step closer, the world begins to change. The soil turns to ash, the smell of sulfur grows heavy in the air, and the landscape looks scorched, lifeless at first glance. Yet, this is no barren wasteland. It's a fragile balance of life and destruction, where only the most resilient forms endure. The question is no longer, can you survive here? It becomes, how does anything survive here at all? In an active volcanic zone, heat radiates not only from the sun but from the ground itself. Temperatures can exceed 100 degrees Celsius near fumaroles, vents that release gases from deep within the earth. Touching a rock here can burn your skin. Even standing too long near a vent can dehydrate you within minutes. Humans can endure these temperatures only briefly. The key is distance, staying just far enough to avoid the searing gases, yet close enough to witness the living geology of the planet. Every step must be measured, every breath filtered through cloth to soften the sting of sulfur. Volcanoes exhale a dangerous mix of gases: carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. They are invisible killers, heavier than air, often pooling in low places. Animals sometimes wander into these invisible clouds and never return. For humans, survival means staying high and staying alert. Even a short lapse in awareness can be fatal. In some zones, explorers carry small canaries, not for company, but as ancient warning systems. When the bird stops singing, the air is no longer safe. The ground is a mosaic of black, red, and gray. Ash drifts like snow, covering everything in silence. Each grain is a shard of volcanic glass, sharp and weightless. Breathing it unprotected can scar the lungs. Walking through it feels like wading through fine dust, each step sinking, sliding, unstable. The horizon wavers in the heat. There is no clear path, no compass that can guide you here. Navigation depends on observation, on reading the subtle contours of cooled lava, or the wind that always blows away from the crater. There is no fresh water here. Any droplets that fall evaporate within moments or turn acidic from volcanic gases. Without water, the body begins to weaken, thirst comes quickly, and energy drains faster than expected. Survival for 24 hours requires planning. You must carry every drop you need, protecting it from the heat. Even the simple act of drinking becomes precious, a reminder that in places like this, life is fragile and deliberate. It may seem impossible, but life finds a way. Tiny ferns grow in cracks where warmth meets moisture. Microbes thrive on sulfur and iron, feeding on what would poison most living things. They are Earth's earliest survivors, blueprints for endurance itself. Scientists have found these same types of microbes near hydrothermal vents deep beneath the sea, the possible birthplace of life itself. To study them is to look backward in time, to the dawn of creation. As strange as it sounds, volcanoes give more than they take. The same ash that suffocates can also fertilize. Over time, minerals from eruptions enrich the soil, creating lands that become lush and green. In countries like Indonesia, farmers plant crops right on volcanic slopes, risking everything for the promise of fertile ground. To live near a volcano is to live with contradiction, destruction and renewal intertwined. Few animals venture close, but some do. Mountain goats and foxes skirt the outer ridges, feeding on the sparse vegetation that returns after eruptions. Birds soar above the thermal updrafts, using the volcano's heat to glide effortlessly for miles. They have learned what humans still struggle to accept, that survival is not about conquering nature, but moving with it. Across the world, people have built lives in the shadows of volcanoes. From the ancient city of Pompeii to the modern villages of Mount Etna, communities continue to thrive despite the risk. For them, the volcano is not only a danger, it's a deity, a giver of soil, stone, and steam. Temples and offerings mark the rim, prayers whispered into the smoke. They have learned to coexist with the uncertainty of fire. To endure 24 hours in this environment, you must understand it. Scientists who study active volcanoes prepare like astronauts, every movement calculated. Protective suits, oxygen masks, heat-resistant boots. Each tool designed to shield against invisible hazards. Even then, danger remains. Instruments can melt, electronics fail. The volcano reminds them, this is its world, not ours. Volcanoes speak through signs. Small tremors that ripple beneath the ground, the smell of sulfur thickening in the air, a low rumble, distant yet growing. Those who listen carefully can read these signals, knowing when to move, when to pause, and when to leave. Survival depends not on strength, but on humility, on respecting the rhythm of the earth. When darkness falls, the volcano transforms. The glow of molten rock paints the sky in deep reds and golds. The air shimmers with heat, and the silence is broken only by faint hisses, the earth exhaling through vents. It is both terrifying and beautiful. For the few who have stood here, watching the slow dance of fire under the stars, it feels like staring into the soul of the planet. By midnight, exhaustion sets in. The body aches from dehydration, the lungs from the sulfur. Every breath feels heavier. Every moment stretches. But this is when awareness deepens. When the body slows, the mind begins to listen, to the subtle rhythm of bubbling lava, to the heartbeat of a living world. It is here, in the stillness, that survival becomes something deeper than endurance, it becomes understanding. When the first light of morning returns, the volcano seems gentler. Steam rises softly from vents, glowing gold in the sunrise. The air cools, and shadows stretch across the crater's edge. You've survived 24 hours inside the volcano zone. But more than that, you've witnessed how creation and destruction are not opposites, but partners in the story of the earth. Volcanoes remind us that the world is alive, that beneath our calm continents, something ancient and powerful continues to breathe. They destroy, yes, but they also renew. Islands are born from eruptions. New soil grows where fire once reigned. And even in the harshest conditions, life always returns. To stand near a volcano is to feel both fragile and infinite. It humbles us, showing that survival is not about strength alone, but about harmony, balance, and respect for the forces that shape our world. So, can you survive 24 hours inside an active volcano zone? Perhaps. But to truly live there, to understand it, is to see the beauty in danger, and the calm within chaos. This is not the end of the fire, only its quiet breath, waiting to rise again.